Sugar is the sweet condiment that we all know so well. But have you considered that those white, grainy crystals could be the answer to global warming? The research paper Direct Impacts on Local Global Climate of Sugarcane Expansion in Brazil endeavours to entertain this possibility, and not in the way you might imagine. Scott Laurie and his colleagues endeavour to understand climate change on a local level. But they undertake this premise by comparing the changes in temperature, albedo and evapotranspiration between natural Brazilian savanna region flora, improved grazing land and intensive sugarcane farming. Albedo refers to the amount of sunlight or radiation that is reflected by a specific land area. Dark plants absorb more light and heat compared with lighter plants, and hence reduce the albedo of the area, and by association they reduce the temperature. Evapotranspiration refers to the water that is taken in by the plants through the roots and expelled through the leaves as part of the photosynthesis process. The experiment was undertaken in Brazil using temperature sensing, hydrothermal sensing and infrared radiation level measuring satellite equipment. The data gathered encompassed the years from 2002 to 2008. Brazil's ongoing development of previously native habitat provided the perfect set of circumstances for undertaking these observations. Also, at 2,033,601 square kilometres, the Brazilian savanna, known as the Cerrado, allowed a large area in which to observe these temperature changes. The fact that Brazil is the largest sugarcane producer in the world also makes it the best place to undertake these observations. Findings within this paper revealed that the conversion of native habitat to pasture or cropping warms the area by an average of 1.55 degrees Celsius. The further conversion to sugarcane production cools the area by an average of 0.93 degrees Celsius, leaving a total warming of 0.6 of a degree. Of further interest is the fact that when the temperature increased by 1.55 degrees, the evapotranspiration level decreased by 0.6 of a millimetre per day, and the albedo increased by 1.73%. Conversely, when the temperature decreased, the evapotranspiration level increased by 0.43 of a millimetre per day, where the albedo increased by 0.2%. The changes in the albedo variable were found to be different throughout the various areas that were monitored. This can be attributed to different land use practices such as burning, different plant varieties choices and different soil types. All of these variables can contribute to the slight but distinguishable variations in the albedo level. A different paper by the name of Quantifying the Climate Impacts of Albedo Changes Due to Biofuel Production, a comparison with biogeochemical effects, focuses on the albedo change from sugarcane production, focusing on a biofuel producers. From the temperature levels that were submitted, it is clear that the sugarcane cools the local area when compared with that of pasture or other crops, but is unable to compare with the temperature alterations afforded by that of the native foliage. The figures also prove that evapotranspiration is more influential on temperature change than that of albedo. The values in the findings show that even though albedo was not drastically changed when the sugarcane was introduced, the evapotranspiration increase is enough to counteract the temperature increase. The interesting follow-on question is also considered within the paper, that of whether the land use changes impact cloud formation over the savanna area that was surveyed. The implications of this will need to be explored in a further follow-on study. However, there is hope that by improving land use practices, the crop choices, the global warming can be influenced and counteracted by the agricultural sector throughout the world.